Welcome back to Not Now Woodworking. I'm Larry Schumer. I'm getting the most response from my equipment videos. It seems like there's not much interest in my project videos. So today I'm going to talk about how I do dust collection in a small shop. I'm standing in front of my garage door, which is detached from my house. It's a 2.5 car garage. It's about 25 feet wide and 21 feet deep. I also parked 2 cars in the garage, and it's a full workshop. So today I'm going to show you my shop, not a tour, just going to show you the size of the shop and how I do dust collection. Alright, so first I'm going to show you some pictures of the garage, just to give you an idea of its size. Then I'm going to open the door and show you the garage in its normal state with 2 cars in it, and then we'll get into the dust collection. Here's a better look at the cars in the garage and how much room they take up. You can notice the equipment around the perimeter. We'll get to that in a second. Just trying to show you the general layout and how I do this. Okay, here's what we look like with the cars out of the garage. I'm standing at the garage door, looking into the right side along the wall. In the back corner I've got my planer and my table saw. There's the back wall. Here's my shop vac, which we're going to talk about in a minute. On the left side I've got my bandsaw and my lathe. The key, of course, in a small shop is everything mobile. The only thing I do not have on wheels is the lathe. The bandsaw is on wheels, and the bandsaw used to live in this corner. But I just recently moved it next to the lathe because there's still room to get the car door open with the bandsaw there. So, what we're going to do is talk about this puppy. Okay, so before we get to the dust collection, this is what my shop looks like with the equipment pulled out. Table saw sits almost in the middle, and the planer behind it. And of course these things stayed there. But the whole key when talking about the dust collection for me was not to have the dust collection mobile. That turned out to be a big pain in the ass, dragging the dust deputy, which you can see there, and the shop vac, which I had them bound together, and I used to drag them around the shop with a short cord, and that was a real hassle. So what I found, it's easier to put a 20-foot cord on the shop vac and just move it around to the various pieces of equipment and not ever moving the shop vac itself. So here you can see I have it connected to the miter saw. There's a old shop vac cable or tube or hose, there we go, connected along the wall to behind the miter saw. And it doesn't do a great job, but it's better than nothing. And another key to this whole process is the remote control that I use to turn the shop vac on and off. So I take this with me to the equipment, and I don't have to keep going back to the shop vac. Works great. So now, let me put this back on the tripod. Okay, so I'm talking a little bit about the equipment. I looked up what I have. I found the shop vac. It's a model WD-1680 at Home Depot a couple Christmas seasons ago, and it was on sale. It's a 16-gallon model, 6.5 horsepower. It's got a 20-foot cord, and of course it uses a 2.5-inch hose, which I thought was really important. It cost me 95 bucks. And it actually is the kind that detaches. This top part is a blower. It comes off, and it's a handheld blower. That's not really important, but I use it outside once in a while. But the key here is this 20-foot hose. And this is a VT 2522, and it cost me 30 bucks. And with this, I'm going to move the camera back and show you, but I could reach all the equipment without ever moving this. And boy, that saves a lot of hassle. And I take the remote with me. I've got places to store it when I'm working by equipment, little hooks that I put it on, and it really makes the job easier. At least I'm using dust collection this way. If it's a big hassle to use, you tend not to do it. Just, you make a cut and figure you'll sweep up. But with the hose, with all I have to do is drag it on the hose, I just find it enormously convenient. Okay, so the rigid table saw and planer are already designed for a 2.5-inch hose. That goes in there like that. That fits right in there. Push the button, and I'm good to go. Let me show you the bandsaw. All right, so the bandsaw, I bought an adapter because it has a 4-inch opening, and that just goes in like that. Now, typically dust collection on the bandsaw is really, really poor, and the Grizzly's no exception. It's piss poor. I know there's some designs to do something under here, make some kind of box and put a hose outlet there, but I haven't done that. And for the lathe, I don't use dust collection. I use dust reassignment. I blow it away with the fan. So all the dust goes this way. It keeps me and the area a little bit cleaner than otherwise it would. And I just sweep up after. Oh, and let's just take a closer look at my sanding stations. For my sanding stations, I've got a rigid oscillating sander, and I just hooked up some fittings in the back, some 2-inch fittings, and I'm able to direct the dust port up so it's easier to connect the hose to it. And then for the Craftsman belt sander, I just do that and use that remote, and boy, make short work of hooking up dust collection. Oh, and for the drill press, let's show you this. I made this handy thing, which I'll clamp to my table. Then I'll stick the hose in it and then position it near the work, and it does a decent job of collecting the dust without me having to deal with it. Okay, so that's the story of dust collection in my shop. If you have any comments, please leave them down below. If you like my videos, please subscribe. I don't put out videos on a regular schedule. I do them when I think I have something valuable to share. Even though my project videos aren't real popular, I still might do another one. I've got a different kind of box that I make that I want to show you. So, thanks a lot for watching. See you next time. Here's an addendum to my dust collection video. When I did the video, I neglected to point out where my router stays. This table folds out from the wall. Let me do that. Okay, this looks like this when this is folded out, and my router lives under my workbench here. It's a Bosch RA1181 router table. It's not great, gets the job done. I've also got a Bosch router inside there. But what I'm going to be doing, instead of schlepping the router over here all the time, when I moved my bandsaw next to the lathe over here, I made room in the corner where the bandsaw used to live, and I'm going to get a floor standing router and store it there. It'll be on wheels, but I have a feeling that I'm going to be able to use it right against the wall. Maybe put the planer into the corner and put the router where the planer sits. And either way, it has dust collection on the fence, and the hose from my dust collection system will easily reach, and everything will be good.